What's going on? I'm Spencer Tillis.
I'm Angela Santoro.
I'm Trayvon Miles.
And this is the Delmarva Sports Insider. Coming up in just a bit in today's episode, Woodbridge was looking to get their season started off right when they're at home last night taking on Broadwater. We'll have your highlights.
And Washington played host to Kent County. How would the Jags match up against the Trojans? Well, we will have highlights of that as well coming up.
That's right, and the two-time defending state champions Hodgson were in Felton last night. Lake Forest looking for a big-time upset. Could the Spartans get it done?
But first, we've been talking about it all week. I tell you what, it's something that we've worked on a lot. Been teasing the fact that we're going to have the big hint of what the announcement is going to be on Monday. So here it is. Without further ado, we will not say anything beyond this. But if you're a Hooper, I tell you what, this is some serious business we got going on. We're going to change the game a little bit. And if you're a sports fan, wait till you see what we got in store. That's coming on Monday, but look forward to that.
I'm so excited. I know, we've been talking about it all week, so Monday cannot come soon enough.
A lot of work's gone into it, and it is going to be a big deal for us.
All right, well, let's get back to it. Delaware football kicked off its season last night, and we'll start things out in Georgetown as Sussex Central looked to hand Laurel a Week 1 loss. Here are the Golden Knights storming the field. A little foreshadowing for what's to come, I think so. From 35 yards out, Fulton Holland carries the rock up the right sideline for a touchdown to help Central take a 7-0 lead. But the Bulldogs would fight their way back into this one. Trayvon Dixon with a nice run up the gut for a 15-yard gain. He led Laurel with 58 yards on the ground, but the Golden Knights were showing out their run game. Corey McCary with a 10-yard gain, and then just a little bit later, this guy right here, Keontae Sturgis, breaks loose, and he'll take this one to the house for a 14-0 lead at half, and they'd hold on for the win, 21-0 over Laurel. Guys, I'd be lying if I said that I wasn't a little bit surprised at this, because if you look on at the teams on paper, you know, Laurel might have been able to get the win. Now, the Bulldogs might argue that they got caught up with some penalties, but let me say this. The Sussex Central run game is the real deal. They are dangerous on the ground. Last night, they had a combined 326 yards on the ground. Sturgis had 10 carries for 113 yards. That's absolutely incredible, and I'm very, very excited to see what they can do this season.
That's right.
Yeah, he adds a new element to that team that they didn't have last year.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a little bit. Well, there was a big Bayside matchup last night as well. Cambridge was at home taking on North Carolina, two of the top teams in the North, two of the top teams in the Bayside, really. Yeah. And this one was as good as advertised. Head straight to the fourth in this thing. The Bulldogs looking for the lead to close this thing out. Cameron Bird back to pass, but it falls incomplete, giving the Vikings one last chance to try and tie this thing up. Nathaniel Lowe starts the drive, drops back to pass over to Keandre Green. Now he drops the ball, but the late hit gives them 15 yards, and they're at midfield in business. Lowe this time showing that he can make it happen with his legs as well. A big pickup, but unfortunately for the Vikings, this one is coming back after a flag on the play. Holding brings them back again, negating the play. Down to the 13 seconds left. Lowe gets hit. The ball is out. We got ourselves a fumble, and Navarro Salas falls on it for the Dogs right there, and that would seal the deal. And talk about a huge road win for North Carolina. They take it 20-14, the final.
It's about our guys having guts and sticking it out. We didn't play the cleanest game, but we believe we got after, we fought to the end. Those guys over there in those blue helmets or those white helmets deserve all the credit. They played their tails off.
Tell you what, 2 weeks now, we've seen two different types of Bulldogs. One that can just run over anybody, that can make a lot of things happen. And this one, obviously, a team that played some lockdown defense. They looked solid in that. North Carolina is looking like the real deal. Give some credit to Cambridge. I mean, they hung in that thing the entire time. Nathaniel Lowe is the real deal. This guy could beat you with his arm, his legs, and we'll see what happens. I mean, they're 1A, so look at some opportunities, but North Carolina, people better start paying attention because they are serious.
I definitely think so. Cambridge will have their opportunities.
They will.
And North Carolina has a big matchup. We'll talk about that later. All right, guys, back to Delaware we go. Lake Forest Spartans got an early test. Two-time defending Division II champions Hodgson were in town. Only team to beat Lake Forest last season. Spartans down 14-7 in the second quarter. Senior fullback Amir White muscling his way into the end zone. That's a big guy. Second score of the game. Ties the game up at 14. Late in the second quarter, Noah Feig Johnson going deep. Finds Trayvon Milton. Watch Trayvon. He's got some moves like this, Trayvon. Jukes one defender, runs over another, all the way to pay dirt. Lake would take a 21-14 lead into the second half. But in the second half, this kid right here, DeJuan Outlaw, got loose to the tune of 221 yards and 4 touchdowns, including the game winner with less than 3 minutes remaining. Hodgson wins a back-and-forth affair, 38-30, in the words of the urban philosopher Jay-Z. Moral victories are for minor leaguers, but I don't think Lake should be excited about their loss at all, especially their first game at home. Nonetheless, they gave great effort. They really surprised me in what they could do. They've got a lot of unsung heroes on this team. They've got some very quiet playmakers. I think that guy, Trayvon Milton, is a playmaker that you'll hear his name all season long. We know what Noah Feig-Johnson can do, but they'll really need to get it going starting next week at St. Mark's.
Yeah, it's not getting any easier. St. Mark's is a quality team, too.
Defense.
Well, we had a lot of other games going on this week, including Bennett, who was at home hosting a very angry Queen Anne's team after they lost in week 1 in Lions. Well, they're going to cap off a great first half by banging through this 25-yard field goal as time expired. They actually would take a 30-7 lead at the break. Little wrong score at the time, but second half and Queen Anne's marches right down the field, cap off a long drive as Tommy Bull just powers his way in for the short touchdown run. The Lions drive in again, and it looks like they're going to have a good pickup. And then check out Ty King. That is the way that you stop a run. Gives him the absolute business right there, just cracks him. But this one was all Queen Anne's, a touchdown run off the left side by DeAndre Collins as the Lions get the win in convincing fashion, 51-7.
And Colonel Richardson was taking on Snow Hill at home. The student section was absolutely ready. The home team strikes first here. Calvin Tillman up the gut for the 7-0 lead, but they were not going to stop there. Later in the first quarter, it's going to be Sean Bowens. He unleashes that QB. He sweeps to the left and dives in for the touchdown right here to give the Colonels a 21-0 lead. After several penalties, Snow Hill finally got things going. Tyke Wise drops back and finds a Monty Allen who takes it home, but that's all she wrote for the Eagles as the Colonels take this one 55-14 the final.
Washington High in their home opener blamed the schedule-making guys for bringing Kent and this fellow to town. Marquand Green with a sick move to get into the end zone. He would visit that place quite often yesterday. Jags will be knocking on the door next drive, and they would fumble it away. A play later, Stevie Curry with a bad idea. Malik Maddox of the Jags picks him off. One play after that, though, bad Jags. Washington fumbles it away again. Kent County recovers. Bad football being played, but the Trojans would settle in. Curry into Green, this time from about 45 out. More ill moves by the junior they call the Green Machine. Kent County gets it done. They win this game 53-18.
That's one bad man. Well, Y-High hosted Decatur. Trey, you might want to turn the other way. Seahawks would take a 7-0 lead in the locker room after Dryden Browse right there finds pay dirt from the short run down the left side. Second half, and now back come the Tribe. Nate Gaines scores from 7 yards out to tie things up at 7 apiece. But the Seahawks would have the answer again, and it's going to be the same guy. Mighty Browse right here makes this a beautiful cut back to the inside. And he's going to be gone for the score right there. He'd house that thing, and then he would house one more. This one to put it away, capping off a 3-touchdown, 100-plus yard day. Tippy-toe on the sideline for his third score. Seahawks, they get the win, 21-13 the final there. And I tell you what, that's just the beginning of it. We have a ton more football to get to, so we're going to take our first commercial break. But coming next, what else? We're going to continue to talk about football. Easton and Parkside squaring off. Keep it right here.
My name is Justin Hill. I'm the quarterback for Sussex Tech. You're watching Delmarva Sports Insider.